Ram Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome all of you. So we'll start with prayers. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna Balram ki Jai, Shri Shnitai Gaurang ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai. Hare Krishna. So we were discussing verse number 62 and 63, where Krishna explained the flow, how we develop attachment. From attachment, first we contemplate dhyayato, then attachment develops. If through attachment lust develops, through lust anger arises, and by anger memory is bewildered. When memory is bewildered, then intelligence is lost, and when intelligence is lost, then we lose our sense of discrimination. We cannot discriminate what is right, what is wrong, what to do, what not to do. And because your intelligence is completely bewildered, lost, so we again fall down into the material entanglement, or our life becomes full of problems. We cannot understand why we are suffering. We just get entangled and keep suffering. So that is the flow which Krishna explained in verse number 62, 63. I request all of you to kindly read these verses very nicely, and if it is possible, you can remember these two verses. It will always help you, because many times we feel that I'm suffering from lust, I'm suffering from anger, greediness, and all kinds of stuff, but we don't have the clue how to control over this. So when we read these verses, so we get the understanding how to control. So what is the control point? Suppose I want to stop this fan, which is running very fastly behind me. I want to stop this fan. So what should I do? I should go and catch hold the wings. Then I should strongly catch hold the wing and try to stop. Is it the way? No, I will get hurt, because the moment I try to go and catch the wings are running so fastly. First of all, I cannot catch that, and if I try also, I will be hurted. My hand may get cut. So what is the way? Go to the root. What is the root? There is a switch. There is control point. So you go and turn off the switch. That is control point. So the moment you turn off the switch, the fan which is running so fastly, it will stop. Now, many times what happens to us, we try to follow some process and immediately we want the result. अरे हम तो chanting कर रहे हैं. So ऐसा जब आप ये वर्सेस पढ़ेंगे तो प्रभुपाद परकोट में लिखते हैं कि everything starts with dhyato, means contemplation. We should not contemplate on the sense object. If you contemplate on the sense object, then you will develop attachment, and that's how all the material problems starts. Lust, anger, greed, enviousness, pride, jealousy, all these things start. Suppose I got something you don't get, so I will become pride. If I don't get anything you get, so I will become envious. So all kinds of problem starts with contemplation. I start thinking so much. So starting point is contemplation. So then Prabhupada, yesterday we discussed that we should contemplate on the spiritual stuff, not the material stuff. So when we start chanting Hare Krishna, then we can get out of lust problem, greed problem. So what are our expectations? Immediately when we start chanting, we try to get some result. If Prabhuji chanting karna shuru to kar diya, but I'm not getting the result. How to get the result? So by the example of fan, we can understand. Just suppose the control point is switch, and I turned off the switch. So can you expect immediately fan should get stopped? No, fan will not immediately get stopped. It will take its own time. There is momentum. So when momentum is, you have just turned off the current, but because of momentum, it will go and it will take another 2-3 minutes to stop. Now you cannot expect immediately the moment I turned off, it should stop. No. In the same way, when we many times we stop our sinful activities, lusty desires, anger, and all those things, but there is force. The momentum is there. Impulse is there. Impulsive force is there, which will always push you from behind to show your anger, to exhibit your lusty desires. All this you have to control. You have to go and turn off the control point. Control point is what? Don't contemplate. Don't think. More you think of sense object, more you will develop lusty desires and anger, all those. So, and if we have turned off, so we just wait for a while. Everything will be settled down. It will be finished. Not that immediately you start chanting and you have stopped contemplating. You want result immediately. That is not going to happen. So don't be in illusion. We immediately start chanting, and I'll get my complete control of lust, complete control of anger, all these things. It will take its own time. Suppose somebody is very very angry. He's having the anger aggressiveness very much. Very quickly he gets angry upon anybody. So he will take his own time. Somebody is very lusty, so he will take his own time. Somebody is less lusty, he will get less time. So like that. But we should have that faith that suppose I have turned off this switch, so it will stop. So that is the understanding which we discussed yesterday. Now today we are continuing from same where we stopped yesterday. I'll share. Okay, so 62, 63 we discussed very nicely. 63, let us recap quickly. From anger, once more I will read the verse number 63 translation, all of you, so that gets reinforced again. While contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them. And from such attachment, lust develops. And from lust, anger arises. From anger, delusion arises. And from delusion, bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost. And when intelligence is lost, one falls down again into the material pool. Material pool means this material activities, lust, anger, greed, all these things. We again fall down into this, and we keep suffering like a wretched soul. So that's the explanation. This is the flow. You can make a flow chart also in your copy of this, how things start. So when you make flow chart, you'll get even complete better understanding. Contemplation. You start with contemplation, then if you are there is sense, you can make like a sense in sense object. So then you start thinking, contemplating on sense object, then it develops attachment for that sense object. And suppose you have developed attachment, now what will be inner feeling? Your inner feeling will be to enjoy that sense object. All of you would have experienced this. So now you want to enjoy that sense object. So if you get that sense object for enjoyment, then it is very nice. Your lust increases, lusted greediness increases, lusted desires increases more and more. And suppose that sense object you didn't get, then anger arises. You'll become angry upon that object. You want to do anything and everything. And anger is like angara. Angara means, the burning coal. If you take burning coal in your hand and try to throw upon somebody else, what will happen? Anger is like burning coal. And if suppose you took burning coal in your hand and want to throw upon somebody, so what will happen? Before hurting somebody else, you are hurting your own hand. Because that burning fire, burning coal, it will first hurt your own hand. It will burn your own hand. So there is one story also. Once what happened, there was one student. So he was asked from his teacher that you have to carry one bag of potato on your back whenever you come to me. Suppose you are doing anything, whatever activity you are doing, always you should carry this bag of potato, always, 24 hours. Even when you are sleeping, that time also you should carry that bag of potato. So this assignment was given to the students. So he followed his teacher, obeyed, and then one bag of potato he started carrying with him. And 1 day passed, 2 day passed, 24 hours he is carrying with him. When he's sleeping, that time also he is carrying that potato bag. So what happened? After 3 days, the smell started coming, very bad smell, stinking and very not able to tolerate, intolerable. So then he went to his teachers that said that I'm feeling very nasty, kind of smell. What to do? So then that teacher said, "Oh, it is because of that potatoes have become spoiled. They have now become rotten. Therefore, you are getting smell. So now you can throw it out." So then that is went through all the potatoes. Then he felt relief. So, the student couldn't understand what was the learning behind it. The teacher said, "This anger is like that. Anger is like uh, potatoes which are rotten and you are carrying. It will always give you bad smell, and you cannot find out where from this smell is coming, but it is coming from the rotten potatoes. Similarly, this anger is always, it will give the bad smell. It will not keep you quiet. You'll be always in situation where it will always harming you, and you'll not be peaceful. You'll be not in keep. You'll not be in the quiet situation. Your mind will be always agitated. And there is another story also. Once one student, he said, "I'm feeling very angry. But my sir suggested that when you develop angry or enviousness towards anybody, you go behind. There is one board. You क्या करो तुम उसमें जाके बोर्ड में you go and एक की लेकर जाओ उस बोर्ड में ठोक कर आ जाओ उस बोर्ड में जाओ and you go with the hammer और उसमें जाके you can do that and then come back." So whenever you feel angry or any kind of envious, jealous feeling towards anybody, you do this habit. Jao, you take nails and with hammer, वहाँ जाके you can apply that. You can वहाँ पर जाके ठोक के आ जाना. So now he started doing this boy. So after few days, that board, that was wooden plank, in fact, wooden plank was completely filled with nails. So then he started coming and telling to his teacher that, "My sir, that wooden plank is completely filled with nails." So then teacher started saying, "Let's see how many times you have developed these feelings of enviousness, jealousy." So then this student understood, "Yeah, that is my situation. So many times I am developing that envious feeling, this feeling anger towards others." So then teacher said that you should now start taking out. So then the student started taking out the nails from the plank. Then वो पूरा nails निकाला. फिर स्टूडेंट को टीचर ने बोला, "जाके अब देखो क्या दिख रहा है." तो स्टूडेंट ने बोला कि all the marks holes on the planks are visible. तो टीचर ने बोला, "See, suppose sometimes you develop envious or ill feeling hatredness towards anybody and later you go and regret for that कि यार नहीं करना चाहिए था मुझे." जनरली जो हम लोग करते हैं, फर्स्ट विल शो एंगर और विल डेवलप फीलिंग, बट लेटर विल रिग्रेट, यार मैंने गलत किया, मुझे गुस्सा नहीं करना चाहिए. So what is learning this friend is getting, that even after regretting or even after going and begging forgiveness, begging apology, after that also there is what apology means, begging apology means you're taking out nails from the plank. पहले आपने nail उसमें you put off the nails on the plank, now you're taking out. So that is like you first showed your anger, now you have went for begging pardon, begging forgiveness, begging apology. So even after begging apology, that marks will be there in his heart towards you. So that relationship will not be again of the same frequency as it was there. So there will be always marks and it will take its own time to recover. It's like that plank will take its time. Marks will go away in a very long time. Suppose it will take 3-4 days, 5 days, or its own time to get the mark get over. In the same way, even after you beg forgiveness from anybody, the anger, the ill feeling, the grudge will remain there. So we should be very cautious, not show your anger, ill feeling, enviousness, all these things. And naturally, in today's time, we are very, very short tempered. We are very quickly we become angry or aggressive. That is what we are taught, because the food stuff what we are taking is very very rajoguna. The food stuff which we take is which we consume, they are filled with rajoguna and tamoguna. And as you eat that you are, our conscience, our conduct is completely based on what you eat, what you take inside your mind, and what is taught. We are watching movies, we are seeing all kinds of serials, web series, and these and all these places we are simply taught all these things. We are being shown how to show your anger and rajoguna. All those stuff is full of rajoguna and tamoguna activity, aggressiveness, anger, lusty desires, enviousness. In movie, what do you see? Full of lust, full of anger, full of enviousness. In web series, what do you see? Today's web series like pornography, almost, and full of lust. So all those things you are taking inside, or your conduct will also be the similarity will be there. What you are seeing, the same thing you will try to follow. And more so, what you take, food. Food plays very very important role because it goes and influences your consciousness. So suppose you are taking food which is rajoguna and tamoguna, so your activity will also be full of rajoguna and tamoguna. And this krodha, lust and anger, they are the products of rajoguna. कामेशा क्रोधेशा रजोगुण समुद्भव. रजोगुण से आते हैं ये सारी चीज. रजोगुण में जब आप हैं, मोड़ा पैशन में जब आप हैं, तो क्रोध आएगा और लस्ट आएगा, और फिर हम उससे बचना मुश्किल हो जाता है. एक बार साइन स्टार्ट कर दिया तो स्टॉप करना मुश्किल है. जैसे तक कि आप जाके कंट्रोल पॉइंट पे जाके ना आप उसको ट्रीट करें. तो कंट्रोल पॉइंट इज rajoguna. You go and treat rajoguna. Unless you are out of rajoguna, anger will come, lusty desires will come. So from rajoguna you have to advance into sattva-guna. And even sattva-guna is also not good. That is also not stable, because sattva-guna is temporary. From there again you come back to rajoguna. So even Bhagavad Gita 14th chapter, Krishna says you have to cross even sattva-guna, go beyond this sattva-guna. That is called spiritual platform. This sattva-guna, rajoguna, tamoguna, they are all material platform. So even sattva-guna is, but in among three, sattva-guna is better. But sattva-guna is also not absolute, because from sattva-guna you will again come back to the rajoguna. And rajoguna, at the moment you are on the rajoguna platform, rajoguna will force you to show anger, to have lusty desires, greediness, all kinds of stuff. So sattva-guna abhi humko cross karke, we have to raise ourselves in the spiritual platform. So these are the understanding of these two verses. So all of you can make a flow chart and see how things are happening, and then you can reflect on your own कि कहाँ पर आपको problem है, where are you feeling problems, lusty desires or anger or pride or enviousness. Like that you can make a flow chart and can share me, then I can, if there is any correction, I'll do that. So that flow chart you can always keep in your mind. Anywhere you are feeling pride, enviousness, you are feeling too much of envious towards anybody. Maybe it may be your friend also. So how to treat that also is given in this first two verses. So very nice verse Krishna has explained these two verses, 62 and 63. Now 64 verse, as we discussed that attachment is the cause of all the problems. So here in this verse Krishna is saying how to become free from attachment. What is the process? Rag dvesh vimuktastu vishayan indriya sharan. Rag dvesh vimuktastu vishayan indriya sharan atma vasher vidheyatma prashadam adhigacchati. What is the translation? One who can control his senses by practicing the regulated principles of freedom. Regulated principle of freedom क्या है? मैंने बहुत बार बताया है. There are 4 regulated principles of freedom: no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, and no illicit sex. These are the 4 regulated principles. So we can control our senses by practicing these 4 regulated principles. Meat eating बंद, इंटॉक्सिकेशन बंद, इंक्लूडिंग टी कॉफी नहीं लेना है, एंड मीट ईटिंग में इंक्लूडिंग ऑनियन गार्लिक नहीं लेना है. ऑनियन गार्लिक और आल्सो ऑनियन गार्लिक का प्रॉब्लम क्या है? ऑनियन गार्लिक विल पुट यू इनटू रजोगुण. Many people they ask, oh, what is the problem with onion garlic? They're not non-veg. So the problem is there because onion garlic will take you into more of rajoguna and tamoguna. You will develop angry desires more and lusty desires more. By seeing a sense object, you will develop lusty thoughts by consuming more of onion and garlic. You can do this practical also. One day you don't consume for 7 days. Suppose you don't consume onion garlic, and 7 days you consume onion garlic. There will be gulf of difference. You will feel that angriness and lustiness. All these things you will feel too much when you consume onion and garlic, because they will put you in rajaguna there, and your nervous system goes down by consuming onion and garlic. Therefore, when the captains, when the pilots, when they have to take off the flight, so they are suggested that 7 to 8 hours before they should not have taken any kind of onion garlic, because of taking onion garlic, nervous system goes down, and the decision making ability, you lose. There is lacuna in decision making ability. You cannot properly make a decision how to take because of consuming onion garlic. Onion garlic is therefore avoided. Not it is not recommended to consume. But now today, every meal we don't take. Every meal we put onion garlic. We don't take anything which is not cooked by onion garlic. But we should avoid that. So no meat eating, including onion garlic. No gambling. No intoxication. Intoxication में चाय कॉफी भी है. And no illicit affairs, illicit sex नहीं. So these are the 4 regulative principles of freedom. अगर हम इसको follow करेंगे, then very easily we can control senses. जैसे हम अपने आप को control कर सकते हैं. Pride, enviousness, all these things we can have complete control. लेकिन ये आजकल सिखाया नहीं जा रहा. इस चारों regulative principles को break करना सिखाया जा रहा है. जैसे हमारा civilization, the perfect way is that the perfect teaching is आप इसको follow करो. 4 regulative principles इसको follow करो. ये है perfect teaching. लेकिन हमारा आज का सिस्टम क्या है, उनके उसमें क्या किया जाता है, चारों चीज को ब्रेक करो. आप कॉलेज लाइफ में देखो, स्टूडेंट्स गिन गिन के एक एक करके चारों को ब्रेक करते हैं. कोई भी अगर फेयरवेल है, या सीनियर्स जा रहे हैं, जूनियर पार्टी दे रहे हैं, फेयरवेल पार्टी, या फ्रेशर्स आए हैं तो फ्रेशर्स पार्टी है, या टीचर्स डे पे पार्टी मनाते हैं, या कोई एनुअल फेस्टिवल है, स्प्रिंग फेस्ट है, लाइक दैट everybody without exception, all the students, they will go and break all the 4 regulative principles. They will intoxicate, they will do gambling, they will do all kind of illicit affairs, and meat eating, rampant, all these things. So just see, that is today's civilization, education system. We are taught that enjoyment means these 4 things. You break 4 regulative principles, you will get enjoyment. Just see, completely ulta we are being taught, and by which we are becoming reckless and losing all the control of the senses. But by losing the control of the senses, we don't become happy. We become more depressed. So if we control our senses by practicing the regulative principle of freedom, then what will happen? Just see the result. We can get the complete mercy of the Lord, and thus become free from our attachment. So that is very important to follow 4 regulative principles. No meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, no this. As much as we can, we should follow. जितना आप कर सके, as much as you can follow. More you follow, completely you follow, that is very nice. If Krishna wants, the devotee can do anything which is ordinarily undesirable. And if Krishna does not want, he shall not do that which he would have done ordinarily done for his own satisfaction. तो इस वाले परपोर्ट में प्रभुपाद बता रहे हैं डीओटी का मूड क्या होता है. डीओटी का मूड यही होता है, कृष्णा जो चाहेंगे वही करेगा, कृष्णा नहीं चाहेंगे तो नहीं करेगा. भले ही उसको अंदर से इच्छा है कि करूं मैं, लेकिन बिकॉज कृष्णा नहीं चाहते तो नहीं करेगा. कृष्णा डज नॉट वांट, ही शैल नॉट डू. जबकि वो कर सकता है, बट ही विल नॉट डू. Therefore, to act or not to act is within his control, because he acts only under the direction of. कृष्णा ने मना किया है तो डीओटी जो है नहीं करेगा, भले ही उसको अंदर से डिजायर है, बहुत ही फोर्स आ रहा है कि नहीं करो करो करो, लेकिन वो नहीं करेगा. दिस कॉन्शियसनेस इज द कॉजलेस मर्सी ऑफ द लॉर्ड. तो ये कॉन्शियसनेस डेवलप करना आसान नहीं. ये भगवान की कृपा जब होती है तभी आता है कि भगवान के लिए ही हम करेंगे और अपने लिए नहीं करेंगे. और भगवान ने कुछ मना नहीं किया कि आप खाओ मत, आप सो मत. आप भगवान ने रेगुलेट करने के लिए बोला है. सो कृष्णा ने बोला रेगुलेटेड ईटिंग, रेगुलेटेड स्लीपिंग, रेगुलेटेड सेक्स, रेगुलेटेड एंडेवर. पढ़ाई भी रेगुलेटेड करके करना. ऐसा नहीं कि 22 घंटे पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं. नो, दैट इज आल्सो अनदर फुलिशनेस. So regulated endeavor also. So when we follow Lord's instructions, then we'll be happy. Okay, so last verse. प्रसादे सर्व दुखानां हानि रस्योपजायते प्रसन्न चेतसो यासु बुद्धि पर्यवतिष्ठते. तो हम सब लोगों को हानि चाहिए. क्या हानि चाहिए? लॉस. वी ऑल ऑफ अस वी वांट वन लॉस. What is that loss? Sarv dukh hani. Sarv dukh hani we want. We want that all the miseries should be finished. It should be lost. But here is the process given. How we can become free from all the miseries. How loss कैसे होगा हानि का? हानि means loss. सर्व दुख हानि, सारे दुखों की हानि कैसे होगी? यहाँ पर प्रभुपाद कृष्णा बता रहे. One who is so situated in the divine consciousness. Divine consciousness means you are following four regulative principles and you have controlled your full complete senses and you are chanting Hare Krishna. So then you are perfectly into the consciousness of Krishna. So that is called Krishna consciousness or divine consciousness. So when you are into divine consciousness, the threefold miseries of material existence exist no longer. In such a happy state, one's intelligence becomes steady. हमने 63rd वर्ष में देखा था कि इंटेलिजेंस लॉस्ट हो जाता है, लेकिन यहाँ पर हम देख रहे हैं इंटेलिजेंस स्टडी हो जाएगा. कैसे? व्हेन यू आर इन डिवाइन कॉन्शियसनेस. तो डिवाइन कॉन्शियसनेस में होंगे आप दो चीज होगी, तो थ्री फोल्ड मिजरीज से फ्री हो जाएंगे, और दूसरा क्या, इंटेलिजेंस आपको स्टडी हो जाएगा, और तीसरा हैप्पी स्टेट में आप आ जाएंगे. तीन चीज होता है जब आप डिवाइन कॉन्शियसनेस. थ्री फोल्ड मिजरीज क्या है ये हम कल डिस्कस करेंगे, आज टाइम हो गया. और थ्री फोल्ड मिजरीज से खत्म हो, आप फ्री हो, बाहर आ गए, तो आप हैप्पी स्टेट में आ जाएंगे. एंड व्हेन यू आर इनटू हैप्पी स्टेट, देन योर इंटेलिजेंस बिकम्स. So now we'll discuss it in the next class. What is threefold miseries? Many of you don't know what are the three folds of miseries. Tomorrow we'll discuss. Now I'll share one small video. All of you can watch this and then you can. This is the video of Prabhupada in the beginning days in 1966 when Prabhupada started this movement. How Prabhupada started this Hare Krishna movement. This video is all about that. Second Avenue में प्रभुपाद ने स्टार्ट किया था. In Manhattan, New York City, there was one storefront called Second Avenue. वहाँ पर एक मैचलेस गिफ्ट करके storefront था. वहाँ पर प्रभुपाद मूवमेंट स्टार्ट किया. That is the first temple of Hare Krishna movement. So we'll see. Well, we'll get a small glimpse of how everything started, and then later on we'll.
I'm Reed Collins. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. A hypnotic rhythmic chant of 16 words has replaced LSD and other drugs for some in New York's East Village. On 2nd Avenue and 1st Street is a storefront in which a Hindu Swami has set up shop. There, his American disciples are learning about Krishna consciousness.
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Ram.
And in nature we have all of the beautiful things and ugly things. We have duality. But the chant is to get us out of nature and into Krishna's superior universe, which is the spiritual universe. And this is what the chant is really intended to do. It's to take you off into eternity. I started chanting in July. I was still taking LSD at the time, but he was against LSD. He said, I told him, what do you think of my taking LSD for spiritual realization, expanded consciousness? I was interested in staying high forever, as it were, maintaining an awareness of the universe that was flowing through me and past me at every second of my life. He says, that's not necessary. He said, your spiritual life is already here. He says, you don't need to take anything for your spiritual life. And I knew he was right. And he had that exalted state of consciousness. I sensed it. And I knew he didn't take anything. And I knew that I wanted this state of consciousness, and that he could teach it to me.
Krishna consciousness is nothing but the moment-to-moment realization that nothing is yours. Neither anything you use in this world, or your body, or even your mind. Krishna is our Divine Father, the one Lord. Doesn't make any difference what you call him, Allah, Muhammad, or Buddha, or Jehovah, Christ. There's only one. Krishna is our Father. All things are his, and we have happiness, true happiness, when we use all things for him.
I practice my Krishna consciousness by chanting when I work and on my way to work. And this is what we ask all good people, to try chanting. Try it when you wake up in the morning. Try it on your way to work on the subway. I know I chant every day on the way to work in the subway, and other people are kicking and shoving. I'm chanting, and I enjoy my subway rides.
All glory to the assembled devotees. All glory to the assembled.
And now we're going to go uptown to St. Mark's Place to do our kirtan and spread joy and peace to the people of New York. We invite all our friends to join us. Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama.